ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commissioner of the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, Jeff Long, and the entire Tennessee Highway Patrol family, I want to take a moment and thank all of the law enforcement officers that are here today, all of the troopers that are all across this great country that come to celebrate with us today the life of Matthew Gatti. So I want to thank all the first responders, family, friends, members of the legislature that are here today. Thank you for coming out here today to show your support to the Tennessee Highway Patrol, but more importantly, to the Gatti family. I want to especially thank Governor and First Lady Lee. I want to thank you for being here. You being here and honoring Matthew today is that there's no words that I can express our gratitude for you being here. Thank you. On today, we mourn the loss of a son, brother, husband, and state trooper. We pay tribute and honor a dedicated and brave public servant, celebrating his life and legacy. Our fallen hero, Trooper Matthew Gatti, paid the greatest sacrifice of life and of love for service and public safety. He performed the duty required of a state trooper to ensure that the highways of Tennessee are safe, and he gave his life in the line of duty. He answered the call for service. On behalf of the members of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, I extend my most heartfelt sympathy to Anna Lax Gatti, Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Gatti, and his beloved siblings, Hannah, Esther, and Joshua, Mr. and Mrs. Frankie Lax, and the entire family. We are indebted to you beyond words. Scripture reads that I do not want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus Christ died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who sleep in Jesus. Trooper Gatti lived a life of sacrifice and service that will extend beyond his transition from this life to the next. Matthew joined the Highway Patrol on January 28th of 2018. He was a new cadet in Class 618. I learned a lot about Matthew by reading his cadet file. Found some interesting things in there. Some of his own writings kind of tell some of the character that he actually is, and it kind of correlates to some of the photos that I've seen during the slideshow. Matthew mentions in one of his write-ups that he did for the class how at the end of a church camp that he ended up getting injured somehow, and somehow there was a mixture of shaving cream from head to toe. And there was a mixture of snow cone syrup that was all over his body. And I can't explain that, but maybe one day Matthew would be able to explain that for us. But I learned in reading some of Matthew's writing that Matthew's ultimate dream was to serve our country and join the United States Air Force and become a pilot. But during that snow cone incident with the shaving cream, he became injured, and that prevented him from entering into military service. See, Matthew's uncle and grandfather served in the Navy, and he had a second uncle that served in the Army. Matthew's intentions were to follow his uncles and grandfather, but as I mentioned, that injury prevented him from doing so. So Matthew joined the Highway Patrol. He navigated the waters of the trooper school, and he graduated. Upon graduation, Matthew was assigned to the Haywood County Scales, where he excelled as a state trooper. He sought out and learned from the most knowledgeable co-workers And though there are so many positive things that I've learned about Matthew, but they all correlate very closely to his work ethic and his relationships with his co-workers. Those closest to him describe him as a trooper that would always go the extra step. He worked to get better. He strived to improve each and every day. His success as a state trooper was attributed to his unmatched work ethic and the positive things that he stood for. Trooper Gatti worked diligently to fulfill his responsibilities of making Tennessee a safer place to live, to work, and to raise a family. Trooper Gatti died living up to the basic commandments of the Bible, which states that the greatest love of all is the love that sacrifices all. And that this great love is demonstrated when a person sacrifices his life for his friends. These are very difficult times for the men and women of the THP. We're all struggling tremendously right now. The THP family has lost a very valuable member in Trooper Gatti. Each and every one of us that wear this uniform, we're all wondering why. Why someone that has so much to live for, so much going for him, 15 months with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, why was he taken? Well, I don't have the answer for that. And I know that you're struggling trying to determine what the answer to that is. But I want you to understand this afternoon, that you don't have to worry about trying to figure it out, because it's all in God's plan. And that we're not supposed to understand it, because God's will is perfect. It is perfect. And all we need to know that it is perfect and sufficient for all of us. The fact that we're human beings, we're not qualified to understand his level of thinking. But the Lord always takes the good ones. He took the best by taking Matthew Gatti. He took someone to serve in a different capacity. His job was done here. I'm just glad that we had a moment in time to share on this earth with Matthew some of the things that he's done and the legacy that he's left. Because I know many of his co-workers are struggling right now. You're struggling because he left his mark on you, just as he's done in many, many other instances. We all love Matthew, and we all love you as well. Our family hurts and grieves right now, but we would not be deterred. We also reject despair. The members of the Tennessee Highway Patrol are brave men and women who will press on and fulfill the call of duty that's been in place for nearly 90 years now. And that call, that mantra that's been set aside for us, is to go as servants and not as lords. Trooper Matthew Gatti will surely be missed. His death affects us all. It's affected us for a long period of time. A week ago today is when we tragically lost our brother, but we're still struggling today. Our emotions are very raw right now. But men and women of the THP, I want you to understand, for your emotions to be raw and for you to be feeling what you're feeling right now, it's all normal. It's all normal, and I want you to grieve. I do not want you to go out here and be some superhero and act like that this does not impact you, because I know it does. It impacts me. It impacts you. So I want you to lean on one another. Most importantly, I want you to lean on the Lord. He will help us to get through this. He will help us to get through these difficult times. No matter how difficult it is on us, it's even a greater difficulty for Him. And all the closest friends of the Gatti and Lax family, I want to thank you for sharing Matthew with us. Mr. and Mrs. Gatti and Mr. and Mrs. Lax, the THP continues to stand with you and behind you. Our love and support for you and your family began when Matt became a member of the Tennessee Highway Patrol family. But please, let me assure you that that does not end with his death. You are forever members of the Tennessee Highway Patrol family, and we will love you and always be here for you and your family. May God bless you.